Week 9, day 3. Today we're going to talk about security versus privacy regarding our fences, and also some updates on various projects that we're doing. We have to be a little bit careful now because the guys are going to be welding in and around the house. Don't want anybody getting any slag on them. Okay, so here we go. Whoosh! Off to the right of the frame here is a bridge, and all of the boats that have been fishing overnight, they all congregate there. So that's where you can get your fresh fish. Yippee! High tide came in a little bit further up today. It's got that new black line, so that's interesting. I was talking to an official in our community here yesterday, and talking to him about the fact that somebody went down below here and put in sandbags and everything, but those bloody things are made out of plastic. So he suggested contacting the DNR, and they may send either a crew or offer to help or something along those lines. All that needs to get taken out of there. That is gross. Okay, let's get over to the house. I know. I said we would get all that burnt up, but we've had just enough rain overnight, every night, to wet that up. So the front profile is now done for the roof. So we're happy about that. The guys can't really work inside the house right now, guys. Even tamping, it's just a little too dangerous with all the grinding and angle bar cutting, and of course the welding. So we've got them doing other projects in the meantime. And that might be a little easier to see there. That's the back frame. I tried to beat her to the bathroom. She really had to go. Okay, I was talking to the guys about the driveway here yesterday, and they have driven up and down it enough now that they have just said, no, we'll frame, and then we'll put the anapogue in between just for leveling. It's stiff enough now. They don't feel that it's necessary to keep adding more anapogue. Okay, so that postie is ready to go, and it's bottom filled, and they've even cut open our driveway here to put the tie beam in. All the tie beams now have got concrete in them. Yay! I like it, I like it, I like it. So the way we're going to deal with this is we're actually going to just try and maybe turn that meter base just ever so slightly. We are going to take a piece of steel and anchor it, not only the post, but to the pole, the power pole. So we're going to weld across there. That will firm up the power pole, because I can't back anchor this. It'll take it onto the other person's property. The reason that we're going to have to turn this is so that they can get access to the meter base. Then what we're going to do is, as we frame our metal, we will go below and we will just leave an opening there so that the guy can still read the meter. To let you know that inside the meter here, they just, see it's already hitting, they just leave the bill inside there, guys, and all that wire is live. So you reach in there to grab your bill. Okay, it is a gorgeous morning. Let's go down and talk with Lynn about our security versus our privacy. They're all paranoid of the sun. They all run down the road with their hair on fire.
We are not sun worshippers, just like you.
Okay, so let's talk about security versus privacy.
Yeah.
So our objective right now is to have a front security fence.
Yeah.
With a fence designed in such a way that it is not a ladder. We point this out a number of times that our neighbor's fence is essentially just a ladder. So why are you spending all that money on a fence when first, as people drive by, they can see through? But if you go vertically and you're driving by, sure, you can see through, but you got to stop. And now my motion detectors kick in. So, Lynn, we've seen a number of different products, both at City Hardware and around, but probably the widest selection is on Lazada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly online.
Yeah, and they're not that expensive, guys. I showed one to Lynn that looks like a security camera,
Right.
but it's not a camera at all. It's just lights, and and then it's motion detection, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool because then people think, oh, the property's being monitored, and they'll just move to the next piece of property. So we will probably buy a few of those and pop them around. We will have our standard lighting system that will light up when the sun goes
Mm-hmm.
down.
Yeah.
We have found solar uh, uh, attic vents, so we don't have to worry about wiring for there. So all of that type of stuff is what we're looking for on Lazada because it's not so easy to find.
Yeah.
But getting back to our fences, so the one at the front is really the security fence.
Yeah.
And the one that we're going to build around the house, but will not have a fence in front of the house because the house is raised.
Yeah.
So we will have some form of security there only when we're away.
Yeah.
Like when we leave the country. But if we're out and about, no, we won't even worry about it.
Yeah.
So the driveway entrance to where the garage is for our privacy, that will probably only be about 4, maybe 5 feet at most.
Yeah.
And what we've figured out is if we put a piece of bamboo on top of a postie, a small one, we're thinking of just using PVC, like say 3 or 4 inch PVC, and we can paint that, and then put the one bamboo on the top, and then alternate sides and screw the bamboo into it.
Yeah.
And that will offer us enough privacy from things like dogs, coming in and pooping all over the place, and you're never going to stop a cat. But the other part is stop the goats.
That's right, because inside around the house is where our garden is, the vegetable or the flower garden in the future. So to prevent the goats from coming in, that's why we have a perimeter within the house.
Or within the property, we're going to have a privacy area.
Right.
So even if people are coming on, like we want to encourage this person who has the cow to come onto the property and let the cow go and everything.
Yeah.
And, if we're out and about and half naked, the last thing we need is people looking and seeing what they can see. Yeah. So, and it's the same with our covered deck, which faces towards the garage here.
Right.
The deck itself on the south wall will need some solar protection. And so again, we're going to look at some full bamboo, a gap on the bottom, a gap on the top, so that we get some form of airflow convection through there. Yeah. So that's our goal for security versus privacy.
Yeah.
And in the long term, depending on how the sale goes with this land next door, we may or may not need to put up a fence of any substance because the basketball court is there and the birthing center is there. Yeah. Lynn is starting to cook, guys. I think I have to take her in.
It's too hot.
She can't stand it.
My lips is burnt.
Well, I hope that explains a little bit more of our privacy thing and our security. I think there's things that you can do, guys, that you don't need to put the glass bottles on the top. And, whatever you desire to do is your choice, of course. It's just like the other family that put in an electric fence and yet built their fence like a ladder. So that doesn't make sense, right?
Like our place here is pretty much like we all know this, some of our workers are living nearby. So
they're all looking
watching
out.
each other here. So nobody will, crash in and,
No.
Yeah.
More of it's
Take
about
something.
privacy. More of it about privacy.
It's about privacy.
Yeah.
Narang construction vehicle.
Out of my way!
The construction vehicle. Dako kay nagamit ning sakyanana. Hello, driver.
Is it a car? Is it a truck? Is it an SUV? No, it's a
both.
construction vehicle. Right now it's hauling cement though.
Palayo siya kay abog. Usa man, is that enough? Like the load?
Well, if they could get one more in, they should.
There are two left. You can come back for the two, or how was it? Okay. Amo na lang gisugdan ang perimeter fence sa tubangan kay para mga lain nga mga sakyanan makasud kay himuon naman na nilang shortcut good pa dong sa barangay. O sa akin nagtuo sila ba og kanang extension pa ni sa barangay nga dalan. Pero sige lang, may ning naanapoy kuan perimeter fence para nanay tawag nag private property.
Hey, sweetie, you want to drive? You want to ride? Sako, mom.
Ha?
Ito ka sako.
Oh, sige, butang. Wait for the bags. They'll put it in. I'm gonna hitch a ride. Hitchhiker.
Lynn just walks around with a camera like this all day and just does this. Is that it?
Manadong? Okay na. Okinawa, Japan.
All right, let's have a lunchtime update. And the only thing to update is the front fence. So guys, they use hollow block just to keep that back rather than using plywood and stuff. They can pull that hollow block out later for the lower end of our fence. So we have to talk to the electrician, Michael. He's our goat owner that killed Lynn's moringa. Murdered him, actually. Trying to suggest that maybe we have some goat caldereta, but don't seem to be winning on that one. Everybody just keeps laughing. Anyway, we got to see if we can tap off of the output of the meter base, put in a temporary outlet so that we can run a welding machine here. This postie has been poured. That's the one with the power meter on it, or beside it, and then we will weld across. Take the rebar at the top and just go over and give it a, probably just angle one of the rebars right over and just tack it straight on. Okay, I can't tell if this one's been poured. I don't think so. Let's give a knock and see. No, it's hollow, so it has not been poured yet.
Calling out Arnie. Mrs. Arnie Wiesman.
Anyway, guys.
Ganyan kam suyok.
We hit 420.